I'm going to show you how to make the best melt in your mouth lamb shanks. Slow cooked until the meat is so tender it literally falls off the bone. These lamb shanks are rich, flavorful and braised to perfection in a delicious sauce. Served with creamy mash. Whether you're making this for a special dinner, this recipe guarantees that deep restaurant quality flavor right at home. Without further ado, let's get started. Chef presents. Alright, first of all, we're gonna start by searing our lamb shanks. We want to make sure they are nice and dry so we get a nice sear on it. So just using a kitchen paper, I'm gonna dry them completely. Make sure to do it from all sides. A good touch of salt, black pepper. Give that a good tap, and of course cover the back as well. You could also use some of the pink pepper if you got that. Now just grab the meat and wipe off all those spices. So you're looking for that exactly. Here I've got some of the onions, which I'm just gonna roughly chop. Using here 1 carrot, again I'm gonna roughly chop that. And some of the celery, of course. We're using here some of the garlic as well. Run through with your knife and roughly chop it. Alright, first of all, we're gonna turn up the heat to around medium-high. Get the pan nice and hot. We're going in with a good touch of oil in there. I can feel the oil is nice and hot. Now in with your lamb. Now we're looking for a nice sear on both sides. You don't want to brown it too much, otherwise our sauce will taste better later. A nice color on the lamb, exactly what we're looking for. Let's turn this one as well. Just making sure the lamb is touching the pan, alright? Beautiful. Look at that. Amazing color. This is where the flavor is, you know, so don't skip this step. Just turn it on the other side now. So that's exactly what we're looking for. I'm just going to remove it back onto our plate now. Now in the same pan, we're going to throw in our onions. Looking for a bit of caramelization on those onions. You can also use shallots instead. Amazing. And now we're going to throw in our garlic. Again, a little bit of color on that garlic as well. Honestly, one of the best lamb shanks that you guys are gonna try. And now we're going with our carrot and celery. Again, we just want to caramelize everything a bit, yeah? Before we throw in our liquid and other ingredients. Here we go. Beautiful. So we got a bit of color on those carrots and celery as well. Going with some of the tomato paste. Here we go, some of the thyme. Some rosemary, give that a really good mix. Just want to cook the rawness of that tomato puree a bit. And now we're going to deglaze everything with a bit of the red grape juice. A really good mix of that, and I'm just going to reduce it a bit. Just a light touch of black pepper while it's reducing. Here we go. Just a light touch. And now for more flavor, I'm going with some of the mustard. A light splash of light soy sauce. I'm just gonna mix that in. You can see our liquid has reduced as well, so exactly what we're looking for. At this point of time, I'm just gonna turn off the heat. Now grab yourself a heavy bottomed oven pan. You could also use a Dutch oven instead. Now for our main braising liquid, I'm using beef stock. The liquid should come up to about 2/3 of the way up the meat. You don't want to fully cover it. And now throw in your lamb shanks in there. Now we're gonna cover this properly with the foil paper. Now this goes in a preheated oven at 140 Celsius, and we're gonna let it slow braise for about 4 hours until the lamb is fall off the bone tender. And we also want that sauce to briefly reduce. Now for our creamy mashed potatoes, I'm using a Maris Piper. Peel them off and cut them into medium-sized cubes. Try to keep all the pieces in a similar shape so they will cook evenly. If you want, you can bake the potatoes instead, but boiling they will be much faster. In boiling water, add a good touch of salt with your potatoes. Now you want to boil them until they are nice and tender and completely done. This should roughly take you around 12 to 15 minutes to cook. So the potatoes are done, now let's drain them. Now you want to let them sit for a few minutes and dry them completely. Grab yourself a small pan with the melted butter. To make it more creamy, I'm using some of the double cream as well. In that we're gonna throw in some of the bay leaves. Here I've got some dried chilies, dried thyme, coriander seeds, and some of this pink pepper is gonna add a lot of flavor, trust me. Now you want to lightly warm up this mixture for a few minutes, don't bring it to boil, and then let it sit for around 10 minutes or so. Now for our creamy mash, it's best to use a potato ricer. A potato ricer helps you achieve an ultra smooth and fluffy texture in mashed potatoes, which can be a bit difficult to get with a regular masher. It will also ensure there are no lumps, and it will prevent overworking. Look at that, looks so beautiful, nice and smooth already. A good pinch of salt into that, and freshly cracked black pepper. And now we can add in our cream, pass it through a sieve. Now slowly bring everything together. You can start to see it's so nice and creamy now. It has this amazing smooth texture that's exactly what we're looking for. That is so delicious. Now just keep it in a warm place. Our amazing creamy mash done. Alright, so our lamb shanks are ready now. Let's check this. These look absolutely mouth-watering. Look at that. Delicious. Now we're gonna pass this liquid through a sieve and we're gonna make a sauce out of it. Now I've left the shanks inside the liquid for now just to ensure they won't dry out. When I'm just about to make the sauce, I'm gonna remove them, throw them in the oven just for some extra color. Let the sauce reduce a bit and then throw in some knobs of butter. If you like a thicker sauce, you could throw in some of the flour. You can have a little taste and adjust anything if you need to. It needs some salt and a good pinch of pepper. Alright guys, let's plate this out. First I'm going with our creamy mash. Looks so mouth-watering, And now we got our juicy, tender lamb shanks on the top. Looks beautiful. I made some glaze with the leftover sauce, so that's what I'm using here. Now feel free to serve it with some of the peas, carrots. Feel free to garnish it with some of the spring onion greens, chilies, etc. Our delicious slow-cooked lamb shanks done. You guys gonna really enjoy this with your family and friends. Alright guys, let's try our lamb shanks. They look amazing. First I'm just gonna try some of the mash. Bismillah. Wow. Amazing. It just melts in your mouth. Alright, let's try our tender lamb. Bismillah. Wow, so juicy, nice and tender, It's cooked to perfection, trust me. One of the best slow-cooked lamb that you guys gonna try. Nice and juicy and a bit of umami flavor as well. Look at that. Cooked to perfection. Goes perfect with the mashed potatoes. You have to try this. Wow, has a nice tang to it, a little bit of seasoning, nothing too crazy, but it's so delicious. The only lamb shanks recipe that you will ever need. I really hope you guys will enjoy this with your family and friends. Please do me a favor and get this video to 5,000 likes. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, make sure you like. Inshallah, see you next time. Until then, salam. Make for your mom. Make for your dad. Make for your family. Enjoy.